Everybody, and welcome to JFK, the final investigation. Today's topic is the Charlie Kirk assassination a conspiracy? This will be a relatively brief episode. I want to bring it up because it is related to the JFK assassination. There's been a ton of interest because of the Charlie Kirk assassination into the JFK assassination. So I want to look at what similarities or differences am I seeing so far. And the first thing that I'm just noticing is a lot of people jumping to conclusions way too soon. And I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I'm actually leaning towards there not being one at this point. I certainly could change my mind here. But I want to point out three or four different things that I'm seeing that just don't make sense to me. I'm hearing a lot of people saying they destroyed the crime scene, they destroyed the pavement, the concrete, the next day, and destroyed everything. That's partially untrue. Whoever released that article did not paint an accurate picture. From what I understand, that is happening, but it happened significantly afterwards. Is it a great look? Not really. Like, I don't know why you do that. It doesn't really make any sense. I guess if you fully photograph the area and you got a slam dunk case, there's really not much of a need to. I mean, personally, I would have just waited. But this story that it was done the next day is completely false. Whoever reported that, bogus information. People are also saying that pictures in the videos don't match other pictures of them. That's kind of silly too. Number one, I don't even know what you're looking at because you got AI nowadays. We don't even know if these photographs we're seeing online are actually the accused assassin. We just don't know that right now. So let's hold off. But I see tons of similarities. It looks like the same person to me. You're trying to pick apart the slightest little difference. Well, he's wearing different clothes. I throw on a hat and sunglasses. You probably wouldn't recognize me. I could walk out of here, walk back in with the sunglasses and the hat, and you'd say, "Who's that?" So a lot of jumping to conclusions on the photographs. I'm also hearing things about the video being deleted. They got him going up onto the building. They got him going down. There's a camera there supposedly that would have filmed the whole shooting and him pulling the trigger and all that, and then that it's been deleted. Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you one thing. There would be a very good reason if that footage existed for it to be deleted. Because at the time, they didn't have the guy. They didn't have the suspect in custody. It's a common investigative technique not to release everything that you have and to delete stuff so you don't get a bunch of people out there claiming responsibility that have nothing to do with it, because that happens every time there's a major crime. There's crazy people that claim responsibility that had nothing to do with it at all. So it just doesn't make sense to me, that comment, and how somebody would know for sure that video existed and it's even been cut. But there's definitely good reasons for stuff like that to happen. I'm also hearing that there was no autopsy. I mean, that sounds pretty ridiculous. We're going to have a trial. I'm sure the autopsy is going to be covered, and that it was completed. I'm sure there's people out there that can confirm it's an autopsy. I don't know where these reports are coming from, that there was no autopsy, but I find that just not believable. And, one thing that I want to bring up that people don't realize with the JFK assassination, that was clearly a conspiracy. One of the biggest proponents of the conspiracy theories themselves is believed to be the Central Intelligence Agency. People say, whoa, like, why would they do something like that? Well, they actually would, produce some of the most wild theories about the JFK assassination, excuse me. And I'm not sure, or I'm not saying that these examples are, but, that Jackie did it, that the driver did it, that the, Secret agent did it. The more ridiculous the theory, the better for people that are being blamed for it, to have that out there, because it makes people look crazy that actually believe that stuff. That's just nonsense. So what I potentially think is happening, maybe there's information that's being leaked that seems conspiratorial in nature, but it's just done for people that are grasping at straws, and it's trying to keep people away from, maybe a more subtle conspiracy. Maybe this guy was actually some type of Manchurian candidate. He was brainwashed, like Sirhan or something. That's a more likely scenario of a conspiracy, not this other stuff about the crime scene, about the video, about it not looking like him. A couple other things that I would say is, supposedly this guy confessed to either a family friend or his father. Like, why would you confess to something if you didn't do it? And if he didn't do it, why isn't his family or anybody else sticking up in the public media, like defending him? Yeah, he's a patsy. He didn't want to. He thought he'd get killed if he said he was a patsy and stuff. Like, we're not hearing anything like that. Not a word. So, why? It just doesn't make sense. Um, so the biggest thing that's leading me to believe that just not seeing a conspiracy right now is the motive. There's some woman out there, I don't know her name, promoting all these crazy theories saying the Mossad did it. He said some things about Israel, and so Israel had him killed, whatever. But my point is here, I don't see how killing Charlie Kirk accomplished anything at all from a political standpoint. It did nothing. All it did was the exact opposite. There's millions of people out there that now know who Charlie Kirk is because he was assassinated, including myself. Never heard of the guy before. I have no idea who he was or what he stood for or anything like that. Now I know. And his organization has got millions and millions of dollars. I don't know how many times what they've ever, received in the past, but so much money towards his cause. And now his wife's taking over his cause. So you're telling me that, I don't know, the deep state had this guy killed because of what he's saying. And now as a result, they got millions and millions of dollars more and greater viewership than ever. Like that's the result. These people don't make mistakes like this that bad. That's just ridiculous. So, look, I'm very open to the possibility of there being a conspiracy in this case. I'm just not seeing it right now, and I think we have to cool our jets and wait and see what comes out in this trial and what we find out. There might be information that that does lead us towards a conspiracy or a mini conspiracy, like some of his friends were involved or something. We just don't know. But making these crazy accusations that this is like the next JFK conspiracy it's way, way too early to be making assumptions like that. And it's based off of shoddy, incorrect information and people on the internet who just publish anything. So to summarize, I stay open, but let's wait and see what kind of real information we can get before we make ourselves look bad here. Thank you and have a great day.